Hello, everyone. It's Chantel. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I wanted to take this time to tell you about a few classes I have coming up, when they are, where they are, and what they're about, to see if you might be interested in joining. These classes are live, in-person, hands-on reflexology trainings. And then I also have one class, which is live online. And that's actually coming up in January. So I'll talk a little bit about that class too. If you're not able to travel, that might be the class for you. So I teach a class. It's a 2-day workshop called Reflexology for Trauma and Addiction. This class is actually taught in 3 levels. So, for someone who's very interested in reflexology for trauma and addiction, you total 42 hours as you go through those 3 levels. And it also includes an 8-hour one-on-one mentorship, which gives the practitioner or person learning this work 50 hours of continuing education credits, and a certificate of proficiency. That class, that program is broken down into levels, broken down into segments. So if you're not sure that this is the work you want to do, but you really want to understand it, you want to get a taste, you want to learn new techniques, then I invite you to try level one. Uh, I've been told, and it's been written at the end of my workshops, I have students fill out an evaluation about the course. And it is very, very common that a common reflection in a student's report is that they came to obtain continuing education credits, right? They needed to get those credits, or they came because they really want to help a family member, or they really want to help a certain or a few clients that they have, that they're working with, and that they leave realizing that the work is about themselves and it's about healing self. And for me, that's the goods because so much of this work, the work that I do in my life and the work that I'm imparting in these classes, has to do with us, has to do with this looking at self so that we can really, really be in our hearts, be in our back bodies, really be present for another. So much of the work we do while we're learning all this technique, while we're learning about brain structures, is mostly about learning all that stuff as we're really present with ourselves, ultimately making it so we can better be with somebody else, better be with strangers, family, and our clients as well. So I'm going to read a little bit. It's on my website. There's a little bit more detail on the website, but I want to give you the bullet points of 3 classes that are upcoming to give you a taste to see if you're interested in any of them. So the very first one is called 5 Fundamentals of Foot and Hand Reflexology. This class I only teach once a year. It starts in January. We meet for 6 Saturdays. 6 Saturdays for 2 hours each time. That begins January 3rd. It's online. Anyone can join. I do keep the class very small because I really want you to understand the content. Also, there comes a point where you are going to be working on someone's feet, and I need to be able to see all of you. So the class is kept purposefully small. So if you're interested in that, please contact me or sign up. So, what you will learn in this class, students will learn the 5 essential classical reflexology techniques. They will also learn additional reflexology techniques that I've discovered have been very beneficial. You'll learn some relaxation techniques, as well as some that I've discovered really work for my clients with trauma and addiction. You will be able to identify basic stuff like the 5 vertical and horizontal zones, right? Really understanding the foot reflexology map, where the organs, the glands, the external structures are, and how to best work from an intuitive perspective. And finally, you will gain competency in executing those techniques on the hands and the feet with appropriate pressure to stimulate and calm targeted areas. So, this fundamental course is for everybody. It is for the novice reflexology. If you are interested in reflexology and know nothing about it, you are welcome to join. If you are a student of reflexology, and this is common, people who are studying maybe even for the ARCB, right, some kind of reflexology exam might come to this class. There's been other people that have taken this class who are practitioners, seasoned practitioners that just wanted a refresher. So everyone is welcome. That class begins January 3rd, 6 Saturdays, 2 hours each Saturday. It's at noon. So people from the UK have joined before, so it's evening for you. And it offers 12 ARCB continuing education credits. Next is the Reflexology for Trauma and Addiction class. So, level one. In level one, it's a 2 day class. It provides 14 ARCB and NCB TMB continuing education credits. So, for those of you who are massage therapists and need credits, you can also obtain them with these classes as well for level one and level two. So in level one, what you will learn a no mind approach to wellness. So principles for releasing negative thought patterns, releasing diagnoses, releasing judgments. This is going to be throughout the entirety of this work for trauma and addiction. It's beyond that too. I do this in my life in all moments, continuing to cultivate my capacity to release my idea of who I think somebody is, who I think I am. This is a pivotal part of me being able to be more present for another person, to relinquish all that stuff that gets in the way, right? So, a no mind approach will also learn a compassionate intake process. How can I best be with my clients to help support and sustain a safe and healthful environment for them? We will discuss anatomy and physiology of the brain structures, particularly those affected by trauma and addiction. The entire brain and body, everything is affected by trauma and addiction, but we will focus on a few brain areas in level one. Those are the thalamus, hypothalamus, amygdala, hippocampus, prefrontal cortex, and a little bit of the gray matter. We get into that as well. So that's level one brain structures. We'll also do, and on the website, this is the sentence. It reads, self-inquiry and reflection for practitioner perspective shifting. What does that mean? That means we're really looking at ourselves. We're really self-inquiry. We're looking at this. If I look at this, I have a much better chance of gaining perspective on my own perspective. I'll have the ability to observe self and see what works and doesn't work. And in level two and level three, we go a little bit deeper into understanding what is below that surface and really acquainting ourselves with the sensations therein within our bodies that rise and fall when we're with another person. And again, this is really important with clients, but it affects our everyday life. You could be at a cafe and somebody says something and there's a rise, there's a swell within. Even maybe a trigger will start to happen and you'll want to respond a certain way. So having the ability to watch a sensation, a feeling, a strong emotion rise, to be with it long enough to also watch it fall, and then developing certain tools and techniques to be with that process. Finally, in level one, we go through reflexology guides. These are not protocols, but they are specific techniques. They're subtle rotations and subtle holds, what I call subtle holds. And these help with client relaxation and support. Level two is also a 2 day workshop honored by the ARCB and NCB TMB, signifying 14 continuing education credits. Both of these classes are a combination of techniques, methodology, a little bit of lecture, demonstration, and hands-on. So there's a lot of giving and receiving in all of these classes, in all my live classes. So what you will learn in this class, I'll go through the bullet points and then I'm going to show you a slide as to where they are if you're interested. So in this class, we do somatosensory system anatomy and what it looks like in our bodies as we hold space for ourselves and another, right? So we might call this limbic resonance, right? Or attunement. How am I able to be with my body with another person? And so we utilize exercises and even integrate synchronous movement with our clients in order to better understand this somatosensory system and the anatomy therein. We will also understand what might be affected by traumatic stress and the areas of the brain responsible for. So now we're going to get into more intermediate and advanced brain structures, those responsible for filtering, self-awareness, inhibition, judgment, discernment, emotional regulation, even timing and context, right? So this is intermediate brain anatomy and physiology. And these are specific to trauma and addiction. Like I said before, everything is affected by trauma and addiction, but there are certain areas we really want to understand. And in my practice, I'm very specific. So I want to really detail all those areas that I understand intellectually, that I am able to experience and sense in my own body exactly where they are, and then really have a detailed approach in how I work with them in my clients using reflexology. We will also examine survival response and recovery in animals and in humans. So I touch on this in level one and level two. We watch some videos and we really begin to understand the difference between animals and us and what we can learn from them as far as completion. We will also learn the history of adverse childhood experiences, or what is known as ACEs, and also a history of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, or what is known as the DSM. So we get into history in level two. We will also synthesize visual, auditory, and behavioral information in others, right? How do I synthesize visual, auditory, behavioral information in my clients while cultivating awareness of what is happening in me as I do so? And there are exercises that we do for this as well. Ultimately, we'll also add some new subtle rotations and techniques. And we will add hand reflexology in this class too. So in level two, we get into hand reflexology as well. And then you'll learn new foot reflexology methods, techniques, subtle holds, rotation, for a very detailed and integrative session. So that's the news. Those are the classes. The five fundamentals of foot and hand reflexology. That's starting January 3rd. There's a lot in that class. It also comes with my book, or we follow my book through that, my reflexology book. And then level one and level two of reflexology for trauma and addiction. If you want to read about it and know more, get a little bit more detailed in my website, chantelclucia.com. I'll put that below this video. And I hope to see you live, either on live or in person. I'm going to be in Michigan. I'll be in Maine, Georgia, Wyoming, and the UK. So I'm going to bring up a slide right now and show you what those dates are. And then, and then I'm going to close. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to bring up this. Okay, share. Here we go. So this is the class schedule. Very soon, I'm going to be in Middleville, Michigan. A wonderful woman named Deb is hosting. This class is actually going to be quite intimate. We're doing level one. We have a day off, and then we have level two. So you're welcome to just join for level one. But you're also welcome to have that day off of integration and then joining in for level two. That level two class as well, there are people that might be in other states surrounding or who would like to travel and be part of a smaller class. If so, you are also welcome. If you've taken level one before, come and take level two with us, October 18th and 19th. Next, I have Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Atlanta last year. Roz is hosting at Heal Center. We did level one last November, so now I'm coming back to do level one again and level two. And again, anyone can join. You don't have to be from Georgia. You're welcome to fly in and be with us there. Another beautiful space. As I mentioned, fundamentals, that's live online. And that is January through 3rd through February 7th, Saturdays, 2 hours each Saturday for 6 Saturdays. And then I get to go to Camden, Maine for level one and level two in May, mid to later May. This class is first open to those who are in the Maine Reflexology Association first. So there will be a period of time where it is only open to them, and then it'll be open to others. So I believe it becomes open to others in mid-December. So if you are in the Maine Association, you already know possibly about this class, and I hope to see you there. I love Maine. I have a soft spot in my heart for Maine. And then finally, in June, so this is the first half of the year, I'm going to the UK and David Waite will be hosting. And I'm so excited to bring level one there. I had the opportunity to be with many students online in an intro to reflexology for trauma and addiction class, which was so much fun. And so I'm really, really hoping I get to see some of you there in Nottingham. So at the bottom, this is actually the link. But what I'll do is I'm going to stop my share. What I'll do is under this video, I will post this on YouTube, and underneath will be a link, a direct link for the fundamentals class, and a direct link that leads to the Reflexology for Trauma and Addiction page on my website, which will give you more detailed information. If this wasn't enough, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for participating. Some of you who are watching this video have been in my online classes. I do them all the time. We do classes on things that I touch on in the live classes. We've done a monologuing class where we look at our monologue and rewriting our monologue. I have an imprints class where we look at the brain and the imprints early trauma can leave. I do an intro to reflexology for trauma and addiction class. Many of you I've seen there. I do a brain and pain class. I'll be bringing that back soon. Many of you I've met through that class. So a lot of you might already know my work online, and I am so hoping I get to see you in person. It's really, really special. It's a very different environment when we get to meet in person. So thank you for listening. Thank you for considering it. And maybe I will see you very soon. Have a good day and night. Take care. Bye.